Welcome to 2 Cents Worth. It is Ryan Faber. We are going to talk about Bears Den Gym, Bears Den Golf. I did a podcast about a month ago, maybe a little longer, about how I started a brand, Bears Den Gym, and now I have Bears Den Gym and Bears Den Golf. And I want to just kind of give an update on, what the last month or so has looked like, the things that I'm learning, the creative outlet of it, and some things in between. So, if you've listened, you saw or know that I have a brand, Bears Den Gym. And quick backstory to it, Bears Den Gym is my home gym that I created during the pandemic lockdown and in 2020, summer of 2020. And this past August, July, my workout partner, one of my best friends, Pete Mermel, made me a shirt, Bears Den Gym Established 2020. And I wore it, put it on Instagram, and people said, I'd buy one of those. So then what I did was I created about a 20 shirt order, in bulk order, and sold them to friends and family. And from there, I said, you know what? If there's a demand for it, and I can figure out a way to not carry the inventory, because it's costly if you carry the inventory and then shipping it out if there's not a demand for it, right? Supply and demand. I might turn that self into something that I could maybe do on the side for a little extra cash flow and have a company. And that's what I did. So, created a website through Shopify, and my fulfillment company is Printful, and I keep zero inventory. So it is order by order, and it gives me the ability to not have to buy in bulk and push product out on a constant basis. Whereas here, you can go onto my Shopify website, bearsdengym.com. You can order a piece. That order goes into Printful's inventory, or sorry, not inventory, their order system, and then they start producing the order. All the products are made from Printful. I make all the product templates on Printful's website, and then I add them to my store on Shopify. So the two systems talk to each other. It's actually extremely convenient. It is a great way to, in my opinion, start a business, especially an apparel business. They do have home goods, those types of things. If you go on my website, you can see all of the products that I've created. They are not just apparel. It is phone cases, duffel bags, coffee mugs, things like that, of that nature. They're all there. Then there's more. There's rugs, there's towels, there's all these types of things that Printful has for an up-and-coming entrepreneur, small business type thing, if you're looking into that direction. And again, it keeps you from having to create the inventory. So, back to where I stand today. That is still obviously the way that I'm moving and moving forward. Printful is an extremely useful, and again, I'm going to say this right now, between Printful and Shopify, these are not ads for them. This is just my experience with them. Printful is an extremely useful tool. And I'm loading it up right now. You have your own dashboard, you have your own profile, and you can create unlimited amount of products. It's up to you whether or not you want to add them to your store. And what's nice about it is everything you look at on my bearsdengym.com store or website, all the mock-ups, all the models, all that stuff, that is all through them. I don't have any of that stuff. That is all through them. So that's the nice thing. I can pick and choose the products that I can use. And there's multiple products in regards to companies that you can use. American Apparel, Gildan, Champion, Hanes, all they have a long line of products that you can choose from, all depending on what you're looking for. You create let's just use shirts. You create the shirt, you create the colors, the fonts, the pictures, all that type of stuff. Then you can pick what mock-ups you want it to be, right? Which also is extremely useful in regards to what type of brand you're trying to create. If it's a lifestyle brand, if it's a active apparel brand, those types of things. That's kind of cool. That's been Extremely helpful. Again, no overhead costs. I have zero overhead costs. I don't keep any inventory. It right now, for the amount of orders that I have, it's extremely useful. And shipping costs are pretty cheap as well. I believe like the average shipping cost is $3.99. So, pretty reasonable considering if you look at shipping costs across other platforms and areas. So, what's nice is they already created all of the descriptions of the products that you use. You just create the name of whatever you want it to be called. You add it to your store. It talks to your store, so it already knows like which collection. So if I create something for Bears Den Golf, I create it and I go through the steps of adding it to my store, and I just click collections and I can select golf, and it will automatically in real time add it to my store. And then if I go into bearsdengym.com and I go into the golf section, boom, that new product is there. Extremely helpful, extremely quick. And what I really liked about it is, one, ease of use, and two, I take multiple things actually. Ease of use, their customer service is incredible. So, great example, my father-in-law ordered his shirt and hat, unfortunately put his wrong address on it. It got returned to their warehouse. I talked to customer service, and it was a 5-minute conversation. It was, okay, you'll get an email. Once this does arrive back into our warehouse, we collect it, and you can tell us what you want to do with it. You can return it to sender with a new address. You can return it to yourself. All these options that they give you. And once again, it gives you the ability to figure out and manage low inventory. That was one shirt, one hat. That's a low inventory. I had it sent to myself because he was coming up to Charlotte, and a couple weeks later, he got his stuff. So I've already had to deal with a return. It was a return to sender because of the fact he got the wrong address, but having that ability to talk to customer service, they're quick to respond. Fantastic. So really pleased with that. The product descriptions, the products themselves have been great. I have more than a handful now of the products, which are awesome. And when you use Printful, every month you get 20% off 3 products that you've created. That way you can get your own samples and make sure that what you are creating, because I'm not actually physically touching it, I'm just looking at pictures and reading the descriptions and selecting what I want. If it's a poly blend, if it's a tri blend, if it's a sweatshirt, do I want it fleece lined? All these types of things. I can actually get those to me for 20% off of what Printful costs to provide it for you. And then I have it so then I can also market it and talk to potential buyers about it when I put it on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever it might be on how I'm actually marketing these products. I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm wearing this. This is how it fits on me. I'm 5'11", 6 footish, 190 pounds. This is how it looks. This is the size, whatever it might be. And I do the same thing for my kids and Lindsay when they get the apparel as well. My 8-year-old Nolan, hey, here's what an 8-year-old looks like. Here's what my 5-year-old Harrison looks like. Here's what Lindsay looks like. This is the size that she has. That way, we're also showing people in real time, in real life, what these things look like. That's a really nice perk to have, is the ability to actually get your own product that you created and see the fit and see how it feels. And that's been extremely useful as well. So if you're looking into creating an apparel company, or again, a lifestyle company, or whatever it might be, that's a nice little perk to have, is the fact, two things, right? You don't keep inventory, and 2, you actually get to get your own samples of what your potential buyers are going to have. So that's been really cool for myself, is that I'm sitting here going, okay, I want people to buy my product, yet I don't know how my product is. I don't know how it feels. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how it fits. Well, Printful gives you that ability to do that. So, again, learning all of this, there might be other companies out there that provide the same type of thing as Printful. I found Printful. I did my research. I looked them up. I watched some of their videos on why they, the things that they do and why they do them and how it all works. And I decided to go for it. And so far, a month in, I'm extremely pleased with the fact that I'm able to, create these unlimited amount of products. I can add, I can remove, I can edit them, I can duplicate them, I can do whatever I want. on Printful's website before I even add them to my website, my Shopify store, if I want. You get the great customer service as a business owner. You get that great customer service, and then also you get the products at a discounted price, and their prices are extremely competitive. It allows me to make my store extremely competitive as well. You know, being a small business, if I had to keep a bunch of inventory, I would want to try and recoup as much money back as I possibly could, which means it might inflate some of the prices and shipping and everything, especially if I have to handle the shipping. They handle all the shipping for me. And what's nice too is that when I start adding to the store, it will tell me Printful's overall cost and then allow me to price whatever I want it to be priced at and show me the profit margin that I have. Whether it's, you know, it can be as small as I make zero profit on it, or it could be, you know, whatever you want. But it allows me to be competitive. And what I've done is, for myself, is I've been looking at other sites and other companies that I've bought from in the past that I'm trying to, I don't want to say copy by any means, but get inspiration from and also learn from, right? So I look at a company like, if I'm talking about working out, I look at a company like RockFit. I get a lot of their shirts for working out. They're comfortable, they fit good, good length. And I've gone on their site and I've looked and I see how they price things and kind of have an idea of where my price point should be. That's the other thing also with Printful. Printful will also tell you what your price point should be. It'll tell you Printful's cost and then what they think you should put it in to sell to get, you know, what. And you don't have to tell them what profit margin you're looking at. They're just more so saying, okay, here's what our cost is. Here's what, you know, the market says that this shirt would cost. This is what you should probably put it in at. And then it's up to you. It's your discretion whether you want to use that price point or not. You can, you know, manipulate it any way you want, which I think is really cool and extremely helpful. So Printful, a great resource to have and use. I've learned a lot from them. They have marketing tools. They have videos that you can learn from. You have a community that you can join and do classes and things like that to learn more and more about what you're trying to do. And they talk to you also about, you know, hey, it's coming up into the fall season. Maybe create a fall line. Hey, and all these types of things of what they're seeing inside of the apparel world, which is really awesome and extremely helpful because I'm a newbie at this. I'm 1 month in. I don't understand all the things in regards to, you know, when to create a new line or when to have a sale or, you know, when to maybe remove things from my site because in the time of the year or whatever it might be. That's extremely helpful to have a resource like that. So Printful's been awesome. Utilizing other companies that I have bought from, that I have consumed from, and seeing and learning from them as well, and looking at their sites, looking how they promote things, that's extremely helpful for me as well. And then learning how to actually create a website, going on to Shopify. Shopify, I looked at a few places to build a website. Shopify, WordPress, Wix, some others. And, you know, all the reviews and what was nice too is Printful even had a video about each one of those companies that you can integrate your store with to their system. And they tell you if you're brand new at this, these are the companies that we suggest. And here's a video about how to link your Shopify website with our Printful database, all that stuff. So not only does Printful help you with all their own things, it also helps you with which website to use and what your experience level is and how easy is it to set up. So I chose Shopify, and it is extremely easy. It was very quick to set up. You can make your store as basic as possible, or you can add pages and different areas and sales and discounts and add apps to help market and link it with your Facebook and get it on Google. So when, you know, it comes up, it can show us on their marketplaces and things like that. So it's been really helpful. putting out emails to my subscribers, because on my website you can subscribe to it. If you go to bearsdengym.com, go all the way down, add your email, you get put on the subscription list to where I will send out automated emails that I've created around new products, sales, if there's anything going to be discontinued, to make sure that you go and check it out if you're looking at it before. All those things are there, which is really cool, and been extremely helpful. They also, just like Printful, they have videos that you can watch and learn. So I'm on their site right now. I'm on my dashboard, and the first thing that pops up, I obviously am not using shipping through them. I'm using it through Printful, but there's a 10-minute video on how to set up shipping. Packaging and shipping your product may not sound like the most glamorous part of running your own business, but it's one of the most essential aspects of your customer's experience. So they're helping you learn in real time of what is going on in regards to the market and how you, as a store owner, can help, build more customer trust, build more things that the customer is looking for, the consumer is looking for. And then also you can scroll through and it'll show you all the products. So for in the last 14 days, these products were viewed the most often. And it shows me the top 3 products that people have been looking at. It also gives me real-time activity, stores activity, your sales, your orders, and how many people have visited your store that day. And if there's anyone live and all that type of stuff. So again, another extremely useful system that's really quite easy to work. And I'm looking on my left hand side of my panel, my dashboard. There's home, there's orders. Right now I'm on the home page. There's the products I can go and look at. I can look at my customers and who's bought and have they subscribed, and their details. The finances, what have I made off of each sale? The analytics, who's gone and looked at my products, where are they from, etc. What did they actually look at? Marketing tools, whether it's email blasts, those types of things. Discounts, creating discount codes, having sales. So for instance, with last weekend being the Ryder Cup, I did a Ryder Cup sale. It was USA 20 was the Ryder Cup code. It's gone now. You can't use it anymore. It expired. But for that weekend of the Ryder Cup, you would get 20% off any golf apparel or any golf product that you bought from my website. At checkout, you use USA 20. Boom, it was there. So, learning how to do that and market at that is very interesting. Instagram and social media is an extremely useful tool as well. Obviously, that's how people right now know about it. I don't have my own Instagram account for Bears Den Gym. I use just Ryan.DeFaber, which is where I put these podcasts up as well and market them as well. It's basically just my home for all of my creative outlets. What's going on in my regular life, what's going on with Bears Den Gym and Bears Den Golf, and what's going on with the podcast. Ryan.DeFaber, that's my Instagram handle if you want to follow me there and see everything that's going on in these 2 outlets as well as my regular life. So, that's another thing too. I started, in regards to social media, I've been starting to follow different accounts that help me understand how to actually get engagement and get my awareness out. I had never done a reel before starting Bears Den Gym. Now I've done a few reels to really market it out beyond my followers. I only have, I don't know, what do I have today? I mean, it's not a lot by any means. I have, how many people follow me? 360 followers, right? So right now, and the way that the algorithms and all that stuff, I'm still learning all of that, because obviously with running now a small business, I have to learn how to actually get my products out to more people and how to understand the algorithms of posts and all that type of stuff. Before, it was just more of like, hey, here's my podcast. Hey, here's what's going on with my kids, or hey, here's me golfing, whatever it might be. I'm having to learn all of that, Are hashtags important? What time to do engagements? All that stuff. How many times should I post a day? All that stuff. But so for instance, doing a reel, okay? So I have 360 followers. My post probably doesn't show up on all 360 followers' stories or on a daily basis, right? Again, I don't understand all the algorithms, but there's times where Lindsay, my own wife, my story, not my story, my post won't show up on her feed. It's just because of engagement, those types of things, and when she's looking at Instagram, all that type of stuff. So reels are extremely important. For example, I have posted, let's see how many reels. 1, 3, 4, 7, 10, 13 reels. All right. And the ones for Bears Den Gym, here's one reel that's gotten 3,500 people looking at it, 3,200. Here's another one for 4,600, 4,688. So again, I have 360 followers, but a reel now has gotten my product out to 4,600 different people, and hopefully more, right? And it's, again, reels are a whole different animal as well, and trying to figure out how to get different engagement, timing, what's catching, hashtags, all that type of stuff. So I'm learning all of that as well, which is extremely helpful. And it's been really cool from a creative perspective to just have this outlet. The podcast, starting it 3 years ago, was a great creative outlet, and it still is a great creative outlet because I get to come on here and talk about things like this. But creating this store is also a very cool creative outlet. As of right now, all of my sales have come from friends, acquaintances, family members. What's going to be really cool is once I get that first sale from somebody I don't know, right? Because that means my product has reached somebody outside of my circle. And that'll come. And that's the thing too is, on Shopify, it talks about that too. It gives me analytics here, right? So it says that most of your sales are going to be more than likely your family and friends to begin with. And let's see, it had something on here about where your store excuse me right now, I'm trying to find it. I thought I had it on here. Oh, here we go. About how much traffic I'm getting on my store. And it's saying, your traffic is up 25% of the stores that were launched the same week as you. Every visitor is a potential customer. Great work. So it's also telling you where you stand in regards to when did other people open their stores. So when I opened my store that same week, right now, I'm in the top 25 of the stores that were created that same week. That's pretty good, right? And that comes with the engagement piece of it. And so eventually I will get people that will buy that aren't in my inner circle. And that's kind of cool as well. And the last piece I'm going to talk about is getting an LLC. So I got an LLC for BearsDenGym.com, for Bears Den Gym, not BearsDenGym.com. I got an LLC for Bears Den Gym. It's Bears Den Gym LLC through North Carolina. I use this company, Zen Business. ZenBusiness.com. It's like LegalZoom's the same thing. It's just a different company of theirs. They handle all of that. And actually this past week, I got my packet. It's right here in front of me. And they did a nice little job. So it showed up at my house. There was stickers that said CEO, you're the boss. There was a nice card from Zen Business talking about, congratulations on creating your LLC. And now I have all of my documents in a nice folder that they've sent me as well. It's all there. I'm legit. Bears Den Gym LLC is an actual company. And now the next phase that I'm going to have to learn going into the new year is going to be taxes and filing all of that and learning that piece of business as well. So what's been really nice is that there are so many resources out there that you can utilize if you're thinking about starting a business. Again, I had no intention of starting any type of business in July when Pete gave me that shirt. And here I am, end of September, and I have a business. I have an LLC. I have a website. I have people buying things. I'm out there marketing. I'm doing something that, in all honesty, I've thought about in the past of, hey, if I was ever to start a company, what would it be? And I never had anything there until this. And so I take this crazy concept of Bears Den Gym, which comes up in lockdown, which came before that with the last name of DeFaber, which was DeFay, which then turns into DeFay Bear, thanks to my friends. And then, well, we're the most dangerous bears, and da 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 da. And then I start the podcast a few years ago. Pete gets me this bear skin. We make a joke that anytime someone comes and is on the podcast, they're in the Bears Den Gym, not Bears Den Gym Studio. They're in the Bears Den Studio. To then, well, I'm going to create my own home gym. I'm going to go purchase all this equipment and have my own home gym. Well, home gym needs a name. All right, well, let's name it. What other name would it be than Bears Den Gym? And here we are today. So, I never thought it would be a company by any means, but here we are. End of September of 2021. I have a company. I've utilized great resources that are online at very minimal cost to myself, and I'm able to be creative. I create my own apparel, my own shirts. I come up with the designs and the ideas, and here we are. And so far, a month in, it's been fun. It's continuing to be fun. It gets you a little bit out of your comfort zone. Like I said, I've never done Instagram Reels before, and here I am doing Instagram Reels and putting them out there and getting engagement that I would have never thought 4,600 people would be looking at a reel of mine. On a normal post that I put out there, I don't even know if I get 100 people to look at a post, but 4,600 people, I don't even care if they scrolled through it, right? Like when you're doing reels or whatever, you're scrolling through most of the time. You watch maybe a third of them. But still, 4,600 times it's come up to different people. So it's been very cool. There's a lot to learn. I'm still wrapping my head around a lot of things and trying to figure out, if I go on my site right now, do I have too many products? Do I not have enough products? Is the sorting correct? How do I want this thing to look? I'm always trying to kind of tweak it, but that's where I'm at. I'm about a month in, and it's been really fun. So I hope you go and check it out, bearsdengym.com, and let me know if you have any thoughts on it. Thanks.